If you broke, you just need to work. That's the cure. When something is broke, it don't work. So like even in my own family, I find somebody that's broke, I'm not gonna feel bad for you. If you grown and you broke, then you just not learning, number one, which increases your value and your skill sets, right? You should never ask, you should never be thinking, can you afford it? You should only be thinking, how can you afford it? That's the mentality. You understand me? And then at the same time, you need to just sit down, educating yourself, and then execute. One explanation I was giving the game on, right? It was like a person that don't have a plan already know what their next step is. Learn, right? So if you take any game, right, and you say, listen, I don't be knowing what to do next. All right. Well, what do you want to do? You got to identify that. So you know that your goal is to identify what you want to get done. Then number two, once you identify that, you have to write it out step by step, up to how much knowledge that you have on what you need to do next. So you maybe you only know 1 to 3 steps on what to do next. So you write it down. I'm gonna do step 1, step 2, step 3. Then you're like, well, actually, I don't know what step 4 is. So you will work on step 1, step 2, step 3. And when you get to the step that you don't know, then that's when you got an education gap. You pay somebody, you get a mentor, you go learn somewhere, you learn what to do. Now you write out the steps on how to get that done. So that's going to tell you your next steps, right? So now you got your next steps. Because anytime you get to a point of blank and you don't know what the hell to do, your next step is always to learn, write down the next step, and execute. You can't get stuck at that. Like, tell me in that game that I just gave you, how can you get stuck in life? It ain't after that. This is what most people don't realize. You understand me? Yeah, somebody said I could charge for IG Lives. Hell yeah. This is what most people don't realize. You know, it's always the way you think. Because the way you think will stop you. Because it ain't nothing else that's in your way. So it'd be the lack of a person having a willful mindset to be able to execute that be in their way more than anything. Somebody already know. I talk about getting paid, patience, attitude, intelligence, discipline. So for me, I can't get stuck on nothing in life. If I don't do the next step, it's because of my laziness. It ain't got nothing to do with I don't know what to do. Because as soon as I don't know what to do, I just need to learn until I know it and then do it once I know it. Life is very simple when you got it down. But even if you got the greatest talent in the world, you still need a coach. We see that in sports. Right? We see that with Mike Tyson. He had Customado. Right? Go look at some of the greatest basketball players. They have things in common. Great coaches. It's the people that are around you, the communities that you in, the teams that you own that allow you to get to the places that you need to be much further. They say experience is the best teacher. Experience is actually a great teacher. But the best teacher is learning from other people's experience. There's a formula about efficiency, right? If you want to go somewhere further, quicker, you don't learn from your own experience. A fool learns from his own experience. The wise man learns from other people's experiences. See, you may, in your lifetime, you can't get the experience of being a billionaire until you are a billionaire. You can't get the experience of a millionaire until you are a millionaire. You can't get the experience of a successful business person until you are a successful business person. But you can learn from people that are millionaires, billionaires, successful business people who have done the things that you want to do. And once you learn from them, it shortcuts the time that it would take you to learn those lessons that will be costly, expensive, and timely. Right? So now you don't have to go through that expense. You don't have to go through that time. And what you learn, instead of just getting information, you get the actual smarts. The smarts are the shortcuts of knowledge. So, bro, oh, you built a business. Tell me all the pitfalls. Tell me what to look out for. Because if I got to go through it my goddamn self, that's going to cost me the next couple years. I'm going to make a mistake that I could have just paid you to tell me about. Tell me about how the different shipping and different distributions. Tell me about the tools that you utilize in your business. Tell me about the different marketing concepts and strategies that you've utilized that work. Tell me how to put together these webinars. Tell me how to think about this. Tell me this, that, and the third. Now, what it costs that person to obtain that information is invaluable, right? But what it costs you to buy it from them, there's a price. And this ain't even the pitch. The people that already see the value see the value. This is just me helping you understand the value of the things that you see in your reality. Because there are some real solid people that's undervaluing themselves to give you the game. I see it all the time. See, now, here's the thing, and this happens more, unfortunately, in Black and brown communities, because when you sell to the world, you can take your prices as high as you want to because you're not trying to target everybody. So when you start targeting the rich or people that actually have money, your prices go higher, right? So now, you know what, I'm gonna charge $5,000, $10,000. I'm just gonna charge people who got it, and they're going to argue and complain less, because they understand it. It's hard to communicate how pivotal it is to learn how to change your habits right now, because habits are more important than anything right now. If you can develop new habits that will make you successful, then any idea, any goal that you want is yours. And I live life by cycles. One thing I was teaching the students in mental engineering, we was talking about the ultradian cycles. And the ultradian cycles are cycles that the human being goes throughout the day. And these cycles is what we have throughout the day. So sometimes we have 3 to 4 cycles throughout the day. So women have menstrual cycles, right? We have a 24-hour cycle that's considered to be the circadian rhythm cycle, right? And then we have seasons that are cycles, right? But your body and your brain goes through cycles. Even while you're sleeping, you go from cycles from beta to gamma, which are states of almost wakefulness to almost unconsciousness, right? Which is why some people have deeper dreams. Some people have lucid dreaming. Some people have very active dreams. Some people don't dream at all. There's different states, and we fluctuate while we're sleeping, right? But throughout the day, you have peak hours that if you were to focus and you was to build your life around when your brain is at peak emotional resilience, focus, energy, thinking, right, then you would execute at a high level because, oh, you trying to write your book now, your brain is ready to tune in. You focusing on business now, we tuned in. There's times when your brain goes through a decline. So you have about 90 minutes of getting solid work in. It goes through a 20-minute reset. Then it goes back up to a peak. Then it goes through another reset and then another peak. And if you learn to clock the cycles of your ultradian rhythm, then you learn to improve in life, right? Because you're going to be executing more. The issue is that some people, they try to work through the time that they're supposed to be resting, which is a 20-minute cycle. So life and the economy goes through that cycle as well. The economy is currently going through what they call a recession. It went up and had a peak, it goes through a recession. After a recession, it finds an average. So an average is between that peak and that recession. And once you understand cycles, you learn how to flow with the rhythm of life instead of during times where you should be relaxing, you be trying to work through it, over stressing and not understanding the flow of life. You did?